Hey guys, my name is Shrish. So the OnePlus Nord is everywhere, and I mean literally everywhere. Everyone's just talking about this phone. Some are positive about the device, some are actually negative about the device. But one thing's for sure that OnePlus has done one hell of a job when it comes to marketing this phone. So in this video, I'll be just sharing my perspective on the OnePlus Nord as a phone and why does it exactly exist at this point. Like if you talk about that processor in the first place, it's not quite like OnePlus. Like the OnePlus we know always comes with best-in-class specifications at a super aggressive price. But this phone, it's a little bit different from the other OnePlus phones. So let's talk about that. So starting with the stuff that we all know, the phone will be having Snapdragon 765G. Basically, it means that the phone will also be having 5G connectivity. Along with that, the phone has got like dual camera setup in the front and quad camera setup at the back. That's something we can, confidently say from the teasers and the images that were officially leaked by OnePlus. And as for the other aspects of the phone, there are pretty strong leaks which seem pretty accurate, suggesting that the phone will be having a 90Hz AMOLED display panel, along with that a 4300 mAh battery capacity and a 30-watt fast charger inside the box. And as for the price of this phone in India at least will be priced somewhere between 25,000 to 30,000. Now, I know that in the documentary, the first part of the documentary that OnePlus is releasing every single week now, it was mentioned that the phone will be below $500. And that did disappoint quite a lot of people because people were expecting the phone's pricing to be somewhere around $300 or $400. But here's the thing, I think that specific pricing, it will be for Europe maybe. Like if you convert that to Indian pricing, it's somewhere around 37,000 rupees. And if you sell a phone with Snapdragon 765G at 37,000 rupees in India, it's not going to work. And OnePlus sort of knows this. We have seen the exact case or exact scenario with the OnePlus 8 as well. The Indian pricing was comparatively more aggressive than the European or international pricing. So I'm actually pretty positive that the phone will be launched for somewhere around 28,000 rupees in India. And if you talk about that pricing, if you talk about the processor first, it's not a flagship processor because if you look at the competition in that specific price bracket, we have got the Realme X2 Pro, we have got the Realme X3 and Realme X3 Super Zoom. All of these phones have got Snapdragon 855 or 855 Plus. And on the other hand, there's the OnePlus Nord, which doesn't have a Snapdragon 800 series processor. No matter how good the Snapdragon 765G is, it's never going to compete against the Snapdragon 855. In fact, based on a couple of articles I read, the Snapdragon 765G actually falls somewhere between the Snapdragon 730G and the Snapdragon 845 from the past. Not the 855, but the 845. So it's clear that even though the Snapdragon 765G brings in 5G connectivity, it is definitely not the absolute best performing chip that you're going to get under 30,000 rupees. But then, why does this phone exist? Why is OnePlus bringing in such a phone? Like they have a reputation of bringing best specifications at a very cheaper price. We have seen that with OnePlus 1, OnePlus 2, OnePlus 3, all the phones that they've launched. They have been like super aggressive with the pricing and the processor that they launch. Now the thing over here is that I think OnePlus is sort of filling in the void spaces left by brands like Realme and Xiaomi. The spaces like lack of good software. Like Realme UI specifically has evolved over the years and now it's much more cleaner than what it was before. But still it cannot really match stock Android, like pure stock Android or the Oxygen OS. Then there's the brand value, which plays a very crucial role in reselling a phone and of course flexing on Instagram. And then there's the user experience side of things, which includes everything right from the unboxing experience to the after sales service to the in-hand feel of the phone and overall everything that you are going to experience with your phone. Like I still remember when Realme launched the Realme X2 Pro, the phone at that particular price was really good. I was actually excited about that phone, but when I went to the comment section for that phone's launch event, I found a lot of people with the opinion that why would anyone buy a phone priced at 30,000 rupees from a brand like Realme. And that I think is the same reason why OnePlus waited so long to launch their mid-range phone. Like the last mid-range phone they launched was the OnePlus X, but that phone didn't exactly crush the smartphone market as such because back then not a lot of people knew about OnePlus. Like of course the tech creators, the people who were into tech knew about OnePlus and what they're capable of and their offerings of course. But it was a time when people were mainly focusing on the brand value. And OnePlus at that time clearly didn't have a good enough brand value because obviously it was a new and promising brand at that moment. But now OnePlus, at least in India, is a whole different brand. People think of OnePlus as a flagship brand, as a premium brand. And this is something OnePlus is also emphasizing through their posts. Like if you read a few posts by OnePlus, the official handles, you might notice that they are going all the way back to the OnePlus One days, and they are exactly sort of describing their growth, their current values, the values of this brand, how the brand is more into users and all of that stuff. And along with good software, good display, and great brand value, if OnePlus somehow manages to get the best-in-class cameras for that price point, then that will be yet another factor to consider while buying the OnePlus Nord. So even though these phones from Realme are just monsters on the spec sheet, when it comes to real life and the smartphone experience, the experience is not really that much refined. It's not really that much premium. And I've used the Realme X2 Pro for a very long time, so I know what the experience is like on those phones. And OnePlus with the OnePlus Nord may just be able to change exactly that. Like, I think OnePlus may actually be successful in providing a very refined and premium experience without having to spend a whole lot of money as compared to other phones. And now, of course, there is the marketing campaign by OnePlus. Now, this is something really unique. I haven't really seen any brand do this kind of thing, like opening a private page on Instagram, calling out leakers, and just in general leaking all the stuff by themselves just to create hype. This is something new. Now, some people actually hate this because this obviously isn't really that much professional, but I think the aim of this campaign is to make everything more relatable to the users and general audience, to target their emotions. And just as you know, the more relatable a thing is on the internet, the more attraction or the more love it gets on the internet. And I think OnePlus actually managed to successfully pull that. People are talking about this phone. The hype is absolutely real. Like, I've never really seen a mid-range phone get this much hype. Now, as for the launch date, I think the phone might launch on 21st of July based on a deleted tweet by Ishan Agarwal. I'll just drop a screenshot if I find one. But yeah, he tweeted about the release, the launch date, and then he actually went on to delete that tweet. So I don't know what exactly, was it intentional or was it unintentional? I don't know about that. But yeah, I think the phone might launch from somewhere between 18th of July or 15th of July to 21st of July or 25th of July. So yeah, that was all about I wanted to talk about the OnePlus Nord. Let me know your thoughts, your opinions on the OnePlus Nord or OnePlus's marketing campaign in the comment section below. I'll be happy to have a discussion there. And with that being said, this is me Shirish and I'm signing out. Catch you guys in the next one.